On the spirit of gravity. My tongue is of the people. I speak too cruelly and heartily for Angora rabbits, and my speech sounds even stranger to all inkfish and pen hacks. My hand is a fool's hand. Beware, all tables and walls and whatever else still offer room for foolish frill or scribbling skrill. My foot is a cloven foot. With it I trample and trot over sticks and stones, crisscross, and I am happy as the devil while running so fast. My stomach, is it an eagle's stomach? For it likes lamb best of all. Certainly it is the stomach of some bird, nourished on innocent things and on little, ready and impatient to fly off. That happens to be my way. How could there not be something of the bird's way in that? And above all, I am an enemy of the spirit of gravity. That is the bird's way. And verily, a sworn enemy, arch enemy, primordial enemy. Oh, where has not my enmity flown and misflown in the past? Of that I could well sing a song, and will sing it, although I am alone in an empty house, and must sing it to my own ears. There are other singers, of course, whose throats are made mellow, whose hands are made talkative, whose eyes are made expressive, whose hearts are awakened only by a packed house. But I am not like those. He who will one day teach men to fly will have moved all boundary stones. The boundary stones themselves will fly up into the air before him, and he will rebaptize the earth, the light one. The ostrich runs faster than the fastest horse, but even he buries his head gravely in the grave earth. Even so, the man who has not yet learned to fly, earth and life seem grave to him, and thus the spirit of gravity wants it. But whoever would become light and a bird must love himself. Thus I teach. Not, to be sure, with the love of the wilting and wasting. For among those even self-love stinks. One must learn to love oneself. Thus I teach. With a wholesome and healthy love, so that one can bear to be with oneself and need not roam. Such roaming baptizes itself love of the neighbor. With this phrase, the best lies and hypocrisies have been perpetuated so far, and especially by such as were a grave burden for all the world. And verily, this is no command for today and tomorrow to learn to love oneself. Rather, it is of all arts the subtlest, the most cunning, the ultimate, and the most patient. For whatever is his own is well concealed from the owner, And of all treasures, it is our own that we dig up last. Thus the spirit of gravity orders it. We are presented with grave words and values almost from the cradle. Good and evil. This gift is called. For its sake we are forgiven for living. And we and therefore one suffers little children to come unto one in order to forbid them betimes to love themselves. Thus the spirit of gravity orders it. And we faithfully, what one gives us to bear on hard shoulders and over rough mountains. And should we sweat, we are told, yes, life is a grave burden for himself. But only man is a grave burden for himself. That is because he carries on his shoulders too much that is alien to him. Like a camel, he kneels down and lets himself be well loaded. Especially the strong, reverent spirit that would bear much. He loads too many alien, grave words and values on himself. And then life seems a desert to him. And, verily, much that is our own is also a grave burden. And much that is inside man is like an oyster, nauseating and slippery and hard to grasp, so that a noble shell with a noble embellishment must plead for it. But this art, too, one must learn, to have a shell and shiny sheen and shrewd blindness. Moreover, one is deceived about many things in man, because many a shell is shabby and sad, and altogether too much shell. Much hidden graciousness and strength is never guessed. The most exquisite delicacies find no tasters. Women know this. The most exquisite do. A little fatter, a little slimmer. Oh, how much destiny lies in so little. A man is hard to discover. Hardest of all for himself. Often the spirit lies about the soul. Thus the spirit of gravity orders it. He, however, has discovered himself who says, "This is my good and evil." With that he is reduced to silence the mole and dwarf who say, "Good for all, evil for all." Verily, I also do not like those who consider everything good and this world the best. Such men I call the omnisatisfied. Omnisatisfaction, which knows how to taste everything, that is not the best taste. I honor the recalcitrant, choosy tongues and stomachs which have learned to say I and yes and no, but to chew and digest everything, that is truly the swine's manner. Always to bray, yea-ho, that only the ass has learned, and whoever is of his spirit. Deep yellow and red hot, thus my taste wants it. It mixes blood into all colors, but whoever whitewashes his house betrays a whitewashed soul to me. Some in love with mummies, others with ghosts, and both alike enemies of all flesh and blood. Oh, how both offend my taste, for I love blood. And I do not want to reside and abide where everybody spits and spews. That happens to be my taste. Rather, I would live even among thieves and perjurers. Nobody has gold in his mouth. Still more revolting, however, I find all lick-spittles. And the most revolting human animal that I found, I baptized Parasite. It does not want to love, and yet it wanted to live on love. Cursed I call all who have only one choice, to become evil beasts or evil tamers of beasts. Among such men I would not build my home. Cursed I call those, too, who must always wait. They offend my taste. All the publicans and shopkeepers and kings and other land and storekeepers. Verily, I too have learned to wait thoroughly, but only to wait for myself. And above all, I learned to stand and walk and run and jump and climb and dance. This, however, is my doctrine. He who would learn to fly one day must first learn to stand and walk and run and climb and dance. One cannot fly into flying. With rope ladders, I have learned to climb to many a window. With swift legs, I climbed high masts, and to sit on high masts of knowledge seemed to me no small happiness. To flicker like small flames on high masts, a small light only, and yet a great comfort for shipwrecked sailors and castaways. In many ways, I reached my truth. It was not on one ladder that I climbed to the height where my eye roams over the distance, and it was only reluctantly that I ever inquired about the way. That always offended my taste. I preferred to question and try out the ways themselves. A trying and questioning was my every move, and verily, one must also learn to answer such questioning. That, however, is my taste. Not good, not bad, but my taste, of which I am no longer ashamed, and which I have no wish to hide. This is my way. Where is yours? Thus I answered those who asked me the way, for the way does not exist. Thus spoke Zarathustra.